the genius of this is they're all based around the same promise. It's just different levels of fulfillment and cost. And so, like, if I want to go to Hawaii, I can get a boat there. I can swim there. I can go coach. I could fly a private jet. It's all going to get me to Hawaii, but the experience and the cost are going to vary. So if I want to learn how to be a podcast guester with Dustin, I could get his $10 interview checklist and take a step towards that. I could join his mastermind group at the very high level and, build my whole business with this, with relationship marketing. I could just go for the podcast profits accelerator and have, my problem solved that way. But yeah, like to me, it's less about what you're doing. It's more about what you're saying no to and creating that focus.
I love the way you're talking about Ascension with the concentric circles. It's different than, the value ladder or the, a lot of times people like it's a staircase. I like, for some reason, there's something about the concentric circles because they're not exclusive of each other. They're like, they overlap each other, meaning the interview checklist in our example fits within the accelerator and the accelerator fits within the 7-figure leap. They're not like jumping from one big level to the next. They actually all have a lot of continuity between them. So if someone's like, hey, that makes total sense, I want to build these 3 concentric circles, which one do you think they should build first?
Yeah. So honestly, I feel like there's going to be one that people are just going to be closer to. Like my answer would be to plan them all out, because the problem that this solves is if you're in business and you're not doing too well, you're probably looking over to see what other people are doing. And then you get really confused that way because you're like, oh, I should write a book. This guy has a book. He's a published author. He's doing great. This person's doing speaking. I should go do that. This person has group coaching, or this person has an agency, or this person is buying businesses. Like, and you get crazy and you just look for what product market fit can I get? Or if you're already selling an offer and making 6 figures, you're probably looking at, well, what's the new traffic platform I can get on? Or what's the new tripwire or back-end offer? Or what does that look like? And you're going to drive yourself nuts because there's an infinite amount of possible correct answers. So what I would do is say, all right, here's the plan. I'm going to use this kind of, proven business model from thinking from first principles, where I'm coaching people on business stuff. I'm good at this. I can coach. This is what people ask me for. This is what I like to do. Great. You can do group coaching in the middle. The high ticket can be the mastermind type of experience for the people that want to continue on with you, because there's always going to be new evolutions in business, new problems to solve. That could be great. And then the front end could be, maybe I'm kind of media agnostic, because you can, write down in 10 pages, kind of like your step-by-step blueprint for something. You could film it and then it's a course. You can record it. It's an audiobook. Like, you could chunk it into smaller videos and it's a mini course. Like, there's a lot of different ways you can get around that. Again, playing to your strengths. But once you have that all planned out, I would start with whatever's easiest to start, because the genius of this is they're all based around the same promise. It's just different levels of fulfillment and cost. And so, like, if I want to go to Hawaii, I can get a boat there. I can swim there. I can go coach. I could fly a private jet. It's all going to get me to Hawaii, but the experience and the cost are going to vary. So if I want to learn how to be a podcast guester with Dustin, I could get his $10 interview checklist and take a step towards that. I could join his mastermind group at the very high level and, build my whole business with this, with relationship marketing. I could just go for the podcast profits accelerator and have, my problem solved that way. But yeah, like, to me, it's less about what you're doing. It's more about what you're saying no to and creating that focus. And understanding that, hey, it takes time to build this out. And maybe you start with that high leverage group coaching offer, or maybe you start with the one-on-one offer and you start selling it and you get that cash flow in and you build that out. And then you trickle down the lessons that you learn into the most useful assets that you can sell as that tripwire or lower ticket thing, or you learn from one-on-one people what they need and you turn it into a group experience on a very specific outcome. And that's the other side of business, where it's not just about using marketing and sales to solve all your problems. It's about learning what your target market needs and wants from you. Because again, I've talked to people about this that have the next greatest business or fat loss or relationship solution, but it doesn't sell because people don't want it. Or the opposite problem in the bro marketing space is you sell too much of something and you don't have the capacity or leadership skills to fulfill for everyone. But it's your business. So you can sell as much of something or as little of something. You don't have to offer a guarantee. You don't have to have fake urgency or scarcity. You don't have to do what the competition does. You can do your own thing to give people the solution they need in the way they want it. And
That's awesome.
This is a way to guardrail yourself from going too crazy with that.
Yeah, I love that. Like it's about you and your market, but it's also about you. It's like ultimately it's about you. If you're not, especially you're a solopreneur, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you're a founder, an entrepreneur of some sort. You're your own worst enemy in most cases. So designing your business, your offer stack, your fulfillment, all of those things around your strengths and protecting, like you said, putting these guardrails up, that's really sage advice. And the other thing I would just add to that real quickly is, start with the one that's most fun. If you're not sure, if you get this stack built out and on paper and you're like, I don't really know, choose the one that seems easiest, maybe the one you've already experienced the most. And realize that it's all going to change, right? Like you want to have a roadmap that will work, but then you're going to get into it and you're going to realize, I'm really sick of doing one-on-one, but I'm actually really good at leading groups, or vice versa. I thought group coaching was the thing, and actually I kind of hate it, and I've missed my one-on-one days. Well, then you can do one-on-one. Maybe you want to charge more for it. So there's always going to be iterations and evolutions. That's part of the fun of business, is it changes and the market changes and the economy changes. There's a lot of things that will change is inevitable, but I think setting up something that can be successful from the start and doing it with this Ascension model in mind is super smart. And it's what I've done in some cases on accident, in some cases by design. I wasn't as intentional about what's been built here over the past, 18 months as Zack outlined, but boy, I sure wish I would have had this expertise and this wisdom and this foresight, back when I was building the building blocks, because it would have saved a lot of pain and missteps and wasted money and energy. So I hope everyone listening to this is excited to learn from Zack's own experience, my own experience, and do this right from the start, or course correct if you realize now, oh man, I totally have 3 disparate offers that don't serve each other, and they don't have concentric circles that line up. Now's the time to start making those changes and redesign your Ascension model so that it does work. So